Hey, I'm Eric Keach. I'm here with Ginny Grabowski, and she has been working with Lynn, help set up a website and get things going with the business so she can showcase what she's doing within her business, how it's helped, and all these other different types of elements to kind of showcase what's going on with her business. So, Ginny, what I want to do is we want to talk about kind of what's the process has been like, what it's been like working with Lynn, and kind of filling in all the details. So, I appreciate you taking the time to come out today and do this. So, thank you.
Sure.
All right,
Happy to be
so
here.
let's kind of set the stage so people understand where you were before you started working with Lynn and kind of like what led you to starting working with her.
Okay. I've been working with Lynn since I think 2008. She has been amazing. Before meeting Lynn, I had one, two, three, maybe four different people that had all charged me a fortune to create a website, a few of them into the thousands and thousands of dollars. And I met Lynn through a fitness business coaching group that I was a part of, and was number one, astounded by the pricing because it was so reasonable, especially for a website, which, as you may know, is often not reasonable at all. And within, gosh, I think it took us maybe, at that time, I think it took maybe 2 weeks for us to get everything set up. And that was not through any fault of Lynn in terms of time. Mind you, most websites take months and months to get together. We got it together in a couple of weeks, and I'm in Alaska. She's in New York. The time change is 4 hours. So sometimes our communication, even though we'd have things done, what's amazing about Lynn is I would send her something at, I don't know, some, for her, god awful hour. And by the time I woke up in the morning, things were done and changed and fixed and ready to go. It was absolutely incredible. So she just streamlined what I needed to do and was able to give me a website that is not
Right.
only user friendly, but has adapted over the years, which has been just incredible.
And it shifted now. And you talked about like the ease of use in terms of working with her, like some of the previous designers that you had. And I'm curious to know, this is like, were they setting up the sites to like, okay, make them look good, but not really user friendly for you or for people who were seeing it?
That's an interesting question because what a web designer thinks looks good and what I think looks good are often not the same thing. I want things to be very easy for my user to see and to be able to interact with. I also want a font because my clients are generally 40 to 65. A little 7-point font or a little 9-point font may look great for millennials, but for my clients, they can't see it. They can't read it. It's ridiculous. And if you can't read my site, there's no point in me having a site. So simple things like that, which make a huge impact in what people see when they come to the site. Lynn, I didn't even have to tell her that. It was just done.
She just knew, she understood that's really kind of what you were looking for, what you
Yeah.
knew would be good. Okay. And so with the during the process, tell me about kind of, have you noticed any differences in terms of like how it's helped the business or what you've seen in response while working with her and how it's helped maybe grow things?
I get compliments on my website all the time. My clients love it. I would say probably 80% of my clients find me coming through my website. They either see me somewhere else and then go to the website. And between the testimonial pages and the ease of use, Lynn's advice as I've been making some changes to the website, and this is something that I love as a business owner, being able to get into my website whenever I want to get into my website because it's easy enough for me to use that I can update my content consistently and all the time. And then when I have questions about, do you think this is going to work? Is this a good idea? Lynn is always there for me to say, hey, I have this idea. And sometimes she gets back to me and says, awesome, great idea, go for it. Other times she's like, you may want to think about this, which is really
Mm-hmm.
helpful because when you're in there and you're marketing your website and you're so excited about your business and you think that everything that you say, people are going to hang on your every word. Not the case. And Lynn has no problem saying, you know what? If I was a client or if I was the person coming to your website, a potential client, here's what I see. Here's what I'm looking for. And that insight to me is priceless. It makes a huge difference in what I'm able to put on, what I should and should not put on my website and what is effective.
And I'm guessing that's very different from your previous experiences with other designers. 'Cause,
It's extremely different. Previous designers have, funny enough, I had a designer who was here in Alaska and it was his second job and it wasn't really his thing. And he decided he was going to use a different platform other than WordPress, which is pretty much what Lynn used, or at least what we're using for my website. And I would send him changes. I would get no response. It was his second job. So his other job, oh, sorry, I'm really busy at work. Well, that's nice, but I need this change made now. We're promoting something. We have a special event going on. I need people to know this now. And it was not a site that I could get into and easily update on my own, where with Lynn's sites, super easy for me to get in there. And I have I wouldn't say a technical background at all, but I know just enough about websites and computers to get myself into a lot of trouble. And the beauty of the website is I really can't break it. And even if I do, I had one time I think I kind of broke it, and immediately sent an email to Lynn. And this is what I love. I sent her an email. It wasn't a text. It wasn't a phone call. It was a quick, oh my God, panic. I don't know what I just did. And within an hour, it was fixed and taken care of. And she's like, okay, you're all back to normal. You're good to go.
That's really really important, and I can understand, right, if you're having something to do like promotional wise or something you want to share and not being able to get into your site, that's got to be extremely frustrating. So it's a big deal that you can have that access. But not only that, it sounds like the support that you're getting is also something that's very different from what you were getting before. So has that been something that you've seen that's been unique with her compared to all the other people? Like, you're talking about like the time, but have you seen that kind of anywhere else with any other designers, and the support and the background things that you're getting from this?
No, not at all. Lynn, she's an amazing one-woman show. She really can do everything that you need, from assisting you as a business owner and marketing strategy, that kind of thing, to the nitty-gritty of your website, which I have used in my time as a business owner. I've been doing this, by the way, for, like I said, Lynn started working on my website, I think it was 2008 or 2009. We're now in 2017. Yay, Lynn, 10-year anniversary coming up. But in that time, I've had other marketing people come in and look at my website and say, oh, we should do this, we should do that, maybe change it up. And for $5,000, we can do all that for you. And okay, that's nice. And every time I get that, actually at one point Lynn and I called her because everything had been going so smoothly with my website. I had no issues whatsoever. I kind of forgot about Lynn just because she's in the background and doing what she does best, which is making my life so I don't have to worry about my website. And I had someone come in and offer to redesign and, spruce it up or whatever they were going to do. And I was this close to making this giant investment, and they were going to do some other marketing things for me. And I thought, you know what? I've been with Lynn for, at that point, I think it was 6 or 7 years. And I thought, I haven't been in contact with her because I haven't needed her. So I haven't needed to get in touch with her because everything is running smoothly. And I thought, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I said, hey, Lynn, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think? And she, again, immediately got back to me and was like, okay, that's one option here. And she wasn't like, no, don't do it. That was me. Because she said, well, here's some things to think about. And what the website was designed to do, what I wanted to do. There was an upgrade, which I didn't know was coming, which was, again, no fault of Lynn's. It was just me not paying attention when things came through my email because it's all working. I don't have to worry about it. And so she saved me at least $5,000 in doing an upgrade, revamped my website. And as soon as she did, I think it took a day for her to fully upgrade and totally modernize my website. So now it was mobile friendly as well as being super accessible on your regular computer. And I immediately got feedback from clients, from potential clients, I love your website. It looks so good. This looks great. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to use. And we use our website not just as a marketing tool, but also for our regular clients to log in and be able to schedule their classes and things like that.
Right.
And so I got feedback from my immediate clients who knew me and had been on my older website and then came in and saw the new one. So I got that immediate feedback. Plus, as people were coming in, we started to see an uptick in the number of people that were coming in through the website. And I attribute that all to Lynn being able to do what she does and making my life so easy.
So the usability, not just on your end to be able to get in there and do things, but also on your clients and prospects coming in. It just makes things simple and streamlined for you.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm part of a business networking group. So I talk to a lot of other business owners who have websites, and I have recommended Lynn, even though her focus is fitness business websites, but I have recommended her to a number of people just because she's easy. No offense, Lynn, you're cheap and easy, but the value that you get from working with her is unbelievable. And to me, the ease of use is really the thing. And to be able to go in, do what I need to do, or if I have a question, because being in Alaska, that time difference between me and the rest of the world is often a barrier to being able to do business. I had a company that I was working with as a tech company, and they didn't have 24/7 access or 24/7 support. And to be fair, Lynn does sleep now and again, so she doesn't have 24/7. But the beauty of it is I can email her, and it seems to me that it doesn't really matter what time of day I email her. By the time I'm looking for a response, it's already there. And that to me is priceless, because it never feels like she's 4 hours away, and if I do this now, I won't have a response for hours and hours. It just is always immediate.
And so that's a really, really big thing. It sounds like you keep coming back to is just the support element that's there that you haven't had previously.
Oh yeah, I haven't had, and when people have attempted with other marketing things that are not necessarily website related, it's a disaster. So it's great because I know no matter what, my website is always going to work. Oh, actually, I forgot about this incident. I had gone on vacation, and when I go on vacation, I pretty much check out. Phone is on, but I may look at stuff, but I generally don't respond. And I had a marketing firm that was going to help me with some SEO stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I gave them access to my website. And the first day of my vacation, I get down, and a friend of mine we were partnering on an event that we were putting together, and she texted me and said, "Hey, what's going on? Your website's down." I was like, my website's down? So the other company had access for, I think, 6 hours and managed to completely take down my website. If you put in alaskafit.com, you got nothing. Same kind of thing. I immediately texted Lynn, was like, I don't know what's going on here, but can you please take a look and see what's going on? And same thing, within minutes. And this was the start of my vacation, and I was fuming with the other company. But I was like, Lynn, I don't know what happened. It's a third-party thing. It wasn't me, but they seem to have taken the whole thing down. And I think it was within an hour. Website was back up. It was like nothing had ever happened. It was amazing. She saved my vacation. It was fantastic.
So
then the other company ended up refunding me a whole bunch of money, which was kind of nice.
Gotcha. Now, and it almost sounds like in a way that she's a partner in your business, the way you're describing it and accessing it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we've talked all about the website. We've gone through. We've kind of talked about how Lynn's been really helpful, how the process has been simple, easy, not just for you, but for clients, prospects, leads, all that. Give me a few words or phrases that describe the type of person that Lynn is.
Super reliable. Super reliable. Down to earth, open, smart, techie without being techie. And I don't know if that makes sense, but she knows her stuff, and I never even think about, does she know what she's doing? Can she do this? I know it will be taken care of, but she's able to explain things to me in a way that I can understand, and not in a condescending, I know more than you do kind of way.
Okay. And it sounds like, too, like obviously, right, and there's a business relationship, but it sounds like she truly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that she really does care about you and what you're doing with your business to make sure, things are going okay.
Oh, yeah. I think that Lynn, having been a fitness business owner in her past, she gets the passion of helping people. She understands that I and my fellow business owners are really passionate about helping people, and she just wants to do what she can to make sure that we can help as many people as we can. And that understanding is rare, and it's a beautiful thing, because to me, if a marketing person is designing websites and they're doing website after website after website, they can lose that understanding and that passion, and Lynn doesn't lose that. That's what she's all about, which makes her valuable to me as a business owner, as someone who has a website, but even just as a consultant, or like you said, a partner in my business, having that, like, hey, I've got a question. I'm not really sure if this is going to work, because I'll walk out and talk to my operations manager sometimes and bounce ideas off her, and she doesn't necessarily have the technical expertise to say, yes, that sounds like a good idea. And I'll say, you know what? I'm not sure about this. Is this a good idea? You know what? I think I'm going to email Lynn. And then I will send her an email and get a response, and it always makes sense.
Got it. Okay, and then two last questions for you.
Yeah.
Go a little bit deeper on this one. Since you've been working with her for so long, you've gotten to know her as a person. Let's say right now she's talking about shutting the business down and turning her phone off, turning Facebook, message, text. And this is the last time that you could ever say anything to her. Knowing it's the last time, what would you want to say?
don't close the business. Really, thank you, because I don't know where my business would be right now without that website and without the assistance and the support and the, hey, you can make this better. This is a good idea. What about doing that? I don't know where I would be without that. I know for certain I would be spending way more money to get not nearly as good advice. And that would make me really sad. And it's just fun. I love getting Lynn's emails every morning. I get a lot of emails from a lot of different places, as we all do. But every email I get from Lynn, I read through, because there's always either some fun story in there, or there's something technical that I can use, or there's something, just a different way to think about my website and my marketing. And she emails, I think it's 4 times a week, and I read every single one.
Okay.
And I don't do that for a lot of other people, because what they put in their emails is not always relevant to me. So sometimes I read it, sometimes I don't. But Lynn's, I make sure I read every single time.
Okay. And then the last question is, let's say someone's thinking about working with her. You know, they've got all these other options or other designers or things like this, but they're hearing your story and you're like, this sounds pretty cool, but they're still kind of on the fence. What would you want to say to that person who's on the fence thinking about working with her?
Get off the fence and get your butt into working with Lynn. I really would say that working with Lynn has changed my business, has made my business so much easier. It has allowed me to focus on other things, because I don't ever have to worry about my website. And because we're so much more mobile and everything is website based. If you don't have a good website, your business will suffer, and you will not find the value, in my opinion, in any other service that you will find with Lynn. You can try and do it yourself, and that's cool, but that's a nightmare, and you won't have all the advice and the marketing and the things, the thoughts on running your business. All of that kind of advice will not be a part of your life if you don't get off the fence. You can get off the fence and go somewhere else, but I can guarantee that you will spend more money and you will not get nearly as good service, and you will end up coming back to Lynn.
Very, very cool. Well, Ginny, it's been amazing to hear that you've been working with her for so long, and all the really great things it's been able to help you do within your business, and how it's helped you. And I just want to wish you the best of luck and continued success moving forward.
Thank you very much. Come to Alaska.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks. Take care. Bye.